What is going on, y'all? We are back.
We back, baby.
Big back. Another week, another chance to be great and love on one another. No pause needed.
Absolutely not. This is an all love podcast.
This is an all love podcast. All good vibes. All good energy. Still big Bills Mafia up in here. He got the band.
None gonna change.
You know what I mean? Big art piece. You know what I mean? I've seen people with the tattoos of this art piece.
Yeah, they wild.
Y'all wild.
100%.
I salute it for the bravery part.
Yeah, I appreciate I appreciate y'all. Y'all fandom,
yeah.
But nah.
That's a
you
little.
got tattoos, man?
I got 7.
Woo.
Yeah.
My man got 7 and still not pulling off none of that.
Nah, we not doing that. But anyways, yeah, so we are back for another week, man. Again, as we say every time we record, 1 week closer. 1 week closer to the big game, to the big season. I'll tell you right off bat, I was watching shit earlier today, and again, it was talking about the best overall teams on ESPN. Number 1, Buffalo Bills. Number 2, don't matter. But continuing to see number 1, man. I don't know if you saw what I was watching. I think it was on Justin.
No, I haven't seen that. But at this point, it is the norm. Because even I keep saying the same thing every time we bring this up. Without my Bills fan bias, this purely looking at the talent on the roster, it still stacks up better than any other team.
It does.
So,
and
and
it's good to see that we not. And like you said, we say this every week. It's good to see that we're not just being biased when we say that, but top to bottom, and it starts with Josh, because every time they mention us as having that full squad, they always start with Josh Allen. And, then they get into, obviously, the number 1 defense, and then they get into Stephon Diggs was brought up. But they're mainly talking about how the Cowboys were down to, like, number 16 on that little list.
16.
And, they had to bring up Dallas. But they had Dallas down there, and they said, I think they had Philly on the list above them, and it was like, is that right placement? But they was like, Philly done improved their team. It was like Philly went and got A.J. Brown. Philly went and added, I think they added Bradbury, I think they mentioned, the corner from the Giants.
Yeah, then they get
and somebody else.
Then they pick up old boy from Alabama, Jordan Davis. Didn't they draft Davis?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you add that piece next to Fletcher.
And Philly wasn't bad last year. Philly wasn't bad. They had little rough patches, and that division will be interesting. We obviously we spend a lot of time talking about our Bills and our AFC East, but I think the NFC East won't be like the AFC West, but they'll be clawing for like 9.
It's wide open though. There's no
clear cut favorite,
shoulders
right
above anybody.
And people gonna argue Dallas, of course, because they won 12 games last year. I'll give them credit, but
I can't say they got any better.
Yeah, they lost. They lost what? Cedric Wilson. They lost Amari Cooper.
Gone. Like lost some pieces on defense. Like as long as
I think they lost one of their DMs.
I'll say this: as long as they continue to try to make Zeke a feature back, they ain't going nowhere. Though.
Yeah, they said they're gonna try to use Pollard more, the running back.
Pollard is a better running back than Zeke.
Low key, especially if you're talking about receiving and running.
Yeah, pound for pound.
Yeah, yeah. Zeke can get you 2 or 3 yards, which they
cloud and dust.
Right. But Pollard can
Pollard gets results.
He's the new age back.
Like wiggle. He gets out in space.
It's funny how we've seen the game evolve, because we saw 2 or 3 guys like that growing up. We saw Marshall Faulk. We saw LaDainian Tomlinson. We saw who was another great
Curtis Martin was in that
Curtis Martin
for a long time.
But definitely heavy on Marshawn Faulk. I think growing up, he was the first running back I saw who I'm just like, oh, this motherfucker can do it all. Yeah. Like, catch the ball.
I feel like we missed out because we just got the tail end of Thurman here.
Right, and that's a good one to bring up, because Thurman was definitely one in the 90s where
literally the best all-around back.
The best all-around. I mean, he even won MVP. And that's why sometimes, and I'm glad I got a Thurman jersey, some people don't give him enough respect here in Buffalo, because it's always Jim. It's always, obviously, Bruce, Dre. But I feel like sometimes, even Tasker gets mentioned a lot here as an all-time favorite. Thurman should be, like, way higher on people's lists.
Thurman is what made that offense click.
He won MVP of the whole league. And that doesn't happen. I know Josh is getting there where he may be the next Bill to be to win MVP, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure Thurman's only built ever.
y'all gotta show Thurman some more love. Maybe OJ.
I don't know if Juice did. Maybe that 2,000-yard season he did. I would hope so.
OJ was going crazy.
Man, I would have loved to see him run.
OJ was going.
Man, some
crazy.
of the old heads, man, they just catch a little bit of highlights. I'm like, yo, man, I just wish I could have actually seen some of these, like Eric Dickerson. Like, I would love to see him more.
Even the defensive players like LT,
man,
and vintage Reggie White. You know what I mean? Because I'm a big defense guy.
Deacon
like
Jones.
You know what I mean?
Things I hear about
Fridge.
how nasty he was, man. I'm just, dang, I wish I could have seen that.
And now we do have some dominant players like that who I think they'll talk about in 20 years. They'll talk about Aaron Donald.
Yeah, it's a different
couple
game,
decades.
Because you can.
It definitely is.
You can assault people back in the day.
Oh yeah, back in the day, you was coming through the whole.
Bruce Smith was clever
with the arm extension. Bomb. You know what I mean? Forcing a fumble.
Yeah, swim move right there. Like, yo, bro,
Excuse me,
cut my man in the throat.
Yeah, it was a rough game back then.
What?
Yeah. It's just like basketball. Everything done changed. Like, you watch dudes in the league play in basketball, how they used to go to the hole and have to sometimes
deal with a
full-blown elbow punch.
Clothesline.
And then the person would just look over them like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, and what?
And then the ref would basically just call a regular foul. Nowadays, they reviewing everything. We saw it in the finals. I mean,
you getting kicked out.
You know what I mean?
Now.
Like,
because some of them layups, they ain't care about the ball. I'm just clothesline you dead in the throat.
Man, listen, we talking Bill Laimbeer, Robert Parrish, Mahorn, and if we want to go a little closer to our age range, Dennis Rodman, Charles Oakley, rest in peace, Anthony Mason. Like
Anthony,
you know what I mean? P.J. Brown. Nah, I mean Dale Davis.
Was playing dirty.
Come on, man. Antonio Davis and Dale Davis, right? The Davis boys.
Yeah.
There was some bad There was some bad mother niggas. But yeah, those were some good times. But back on the football, and there were some things I wanted to talk about on my list. One of the few things. Nah, you got to refresh my memory. Like, I swear to God, my mind is fried. What was one of the first things I wanted to talk about first?
We wanted to talk about who was actually facing a make-or-break training camp.
Right. There we go. See, this is why I got him here with me. So we've kind of jumped around 6 or 7 different things leading into training camp, and we feel it's obviously important to touch on as much as we can before the pads really come on and before decisions really get made. So, yeah, that was something that I kind of wanted to get your opinion on, Z, because I feel like every summer we go into this season with guys on their 3rd, 4th year contract, even 2nd year guys. Who do you feel, you can pick one, you can pick 2. Who do you feel are those players who that not only will you be keeping an eye on, but you feel like this is it for them? Either they're going to make the 53 or they're going to be off the team.
This one's easy for me.
Okay.
I think it's AJ Epinesa. Coming into year 3, man, I'm pretty sure, man, I ain't pulled stats on this, but I don't think he has more than 3 or 4 sacks combined in his first 2 years.
His first 2.
I mean, you have Rousseau, who looks to be pretty entrenched.
Rousseau is pretty much the starter.
You have Von Miller, who is on a 6-year deal.
Right.
And it's going to take the work of God for
him to get off
to outplay Von to take that spot. You have Boogie Basham, who was second round pick from last
flashes
year.
too.
You re-signed Shaq Lawson, who was not necessarily top end of the league, but his floor.
But he in that rotation
he has a pretty decent floor, so you know what you're gonna get.
Right.
So Epinesa is gonna have to claw just to make the team.
Right. And get in that rotation.
Get into the rotation when you're actually getting some decent amount of snaps.
Right.
You never had more than 30% of the snaps.
And I think his hardest battle is, and I'll let you continue, is that normally they might keep 5 defensive ends just because of how much they rotate. But I think this year is going to be tougher just because of the rotation from the inside. Because when you got Oliver, Settle, Phillips, Daquan Jones, and I know I'm missing somebody, but when you got those 4 and possibly a 5th, it's going to be hard to say, hey, we're going to keep more than 9 guys on the D line.
Exactly. And Basham provides you some of that
flexibility, right? And even Greg Rousseau, because Greg Rousseau even kicked inside.
Epinesa doesn't really have that. I mean, once they had him drop.
Once he dropped that weight, it was kind of like
so I mean, you lose that flexibility. So I mean, he is more of a speed guy, but he hasn't really shown that on the field.
Right.
Granted, he still has the power because I mean, he's still a bigger guy.
Right.
drop the weight.
And I still think he got something in him. Like he's one of those weird cases where I feel like after this summer, he'll either be a situation where he'll show enough to warrant being in that rotation, or he might just need that fresh start.
Yeah, I think he'll either make the team and get into rotation to have a decent season, or he's going to be traded.
Or he's going to latch right, because he can very well be traded. And I think that's the one thing that the Bills have in their favor.
Every year.
They do it every year.
Somebody in traded for some picks.
Because they have so much talent. And that might even happen at wide receiver. Like, I would definitely keep an eye on some of their back-end guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think nobody going to really want to trade for a Kumro or Stevenson or Austin. But there are guys who might be surprise cuts like a McKenzie or a Crowder where you could see a team saying, hey, I didn't think he was going to be available, but if y'all willing to...
I'll take this fifth.
Yeah, take this fifth or this sixth, and we'll do it. But, AJ's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, he's really going to make it break it because, again, coming in year 3, second-round pick, and their first draft pick of that year, because they didn't have a first because they traded for the Diggs.
Right.
So, their first pick of that year,
right.
You need year 3 and you need to see not really produce up to this point.
To me, it's going to come down to preseason for him because in training camp, you can do enough, but he can't really take down the quarterback in training camp. Yeah. So, for a guy like him, and even Boogie, even though Boogie I feel like is going to make the team, it's going to come down to preseason snaps. Because Von Miller, as much as we want to see him in August, maybe show something.
3 snaps per game.
Right. If that. Yeah, listen.
I'm here, y'all.
Yeah.
One play.
And he'll probably tell Coach, like, listen, Coach.
You know what I'm here for.
Man.
And it ain't August. So.
And y'all gave me the bag. So they gonna probably, like, Von Miller is in Josh's category where it's like, we know what we getting from y'all. It even digs. It's
getting your stance.
There's about 3 players on the team that I don't expect to really do too much in preseason, and that's Josh, Diggs, and Von Miller.
Yeah, just getting your stance, fire off, and stop.
Because listen, let me tell you something. One thing this team can't have is no freak injuries.
Yeah. In preseason.
And in the summer period, like practice, any of that. So, so good person to bring up. My person that I was thinking about. So on the offensive side, and I might think of another while I'm bringing this person up, but I think it's going to be Zach Moss on offense.
That was my
another one. Yeah. I think Zach is an easy one. If you've been following this team the last couple years, you realize that we've had some young backs. But I think that right now the Bills will be looking to decide, okay, can Devin be a part of our running back room moving forward? And if Devin is, talking about Singletary, what does that mean for a guy like Zach Moss? So I think they're going to look very hard at Singletary, of course, but I think they're going to look extremely hard at Moss because I think with the addition of James Cook, with the addition of Duke Johnson, who will be battling at the back end, they're going to try to say, hey, you need to look better than Cook and Duke. Sorry, because we're not cutting Singletary. He's about as safe as bet as you got in this running back room outside of Cook.
Man.
So Singletary and Cook is pretty much a lot. So that leaves you with Moss and Duke Johnson. And for me, even though Moss is young, he's going to have to show a little bit more wiggle. Now, I know he comes in, packs a punch, low to the ground. He kind of gives you Travis Henry mixed in with, I don't even know who else to compare him to, but he kind of gives you power back vibes, but he really, you would hope he can give you more than just power. And I think that it's tough for him because in today's NFL, we talked about it earlier, you want to have that guy who can break away, catch the ball out the backfield, get in space, and yes, show some power, but also show some getaway. Because I think Singletary, that's one thing that makes him effective is that even though he's not your fastest back, he's still slippery enough where he can break it for 25, 30 yards. I watched that Tampa Bay game a couple of days ago, and Singletary was a part of the reason why they came back in that second half. They gave him the ball, handed it off to him a couple times. Boom, 30 yards. Boom, 25 yards. Now, maybe that was because Tampa Bay was trying to back off, but we've noticed at times when the Bills do go to Singletary on a draw or on some of those sneaky screens, he can get you down the field in 30 yards. And I think Moss just has to show more of that because this is an offense that can't just settle for 2 or 3 yard games.
Right.
This is just not that kind of offense. And we know Dorsey is going to show everything that, we'll see what Dorsey has to add. But if you're a running back in this offense and your name is Zach Moss, you got to show more.
Yeah, I mean, he has not necessarily an advantage, but what it still works in his favor. He does offer something that none of the other backs in the room offer. None of Singletary or Cook or Johnson really offers that. Let me take this ball and just run.
Yeah, and run you and try to run you over. Yeah.
So like he
can do that.
He has the ability to get you the dirty yards when you need it. Because I really don't want to see Josh continue to.
No, we definitely don't.
They're short yardage back.
Nah. We don't want.
Granted,
that.
He's
4th and inches. I'm cool because that means that normally he's just gonna try to get the ball over the whatever.
Yeah. I mean, as effective as that QB sweep is.
Right, yeah, even the sweep.
Pulling the center.
Yeah, that's kind of scary because they can go for his knees and all. Yeah.
Man, every time that thing happens, I'm just on the edge of my seat like, yo, just please don't get hurt. Yeah.
Because they're onto it more now because
stop that shit though.
They still can't, and that's the crazy part. But I think that going into this year, we see where Josh is at on all of these lists. Teams are going to be looking out for it, but
Dabo was designing them sweeps, so they look just like other plays. So, I mean, when you pull that out, the way they center and pull, it look just like a run to the other side. But going back to Moss real quick, I give him a slight benefit of the doubt,
right?
Just because as running backs, man, you really got to be able to get the ball to get into the rhythm of the game to really feel things.
And he
out.
seemed like one of those guys too.
And in this offense, with them not being
it's hard
running
because
run heavy at all. Yeah. I mean, they may get 6-7 carries apiece.
Right.
So him having injuries is both years coming in.
Right.
So you coming into the league mid-COVID, both your first year, so things are all up in the air. Injuries there, not really getting into the rhythm of the game.
Right.
It's tough to really make a big impact. So not saying he ran the ball amazingly in his times, but
It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, listen, it's tough, and I think that's why it will be intriguing. Just as much as we said, watching the receivers, it's going to be intriguing to watch that back end battle between Duke, even Taiwan if you want to throw him in there, and Zach, because guess what? Every single spot on this team is going to be very crucial.
And they're all competitors,
right? And they're all competitors, and they're all going to bring.
And Moss know who they just drafted.
Oh, for sure.
So he like, all right.
For another Florida back?
Right.
Y'all want us to have Florida beef out here? Like Devin had already, and that was the one thing I can say watching that from like the background is that Devin already knew Cook from working out with him in South Florida with his brother. Like I saw they did workouts together. So Singletary not even looking at it as no bull. He like, all right, 1-2 punch.
Right.
Meanwhile, Moss like, 1-2 punch.
Right.
I was supposed to be honest. And now he got to sit back and be like, so what was it? Oh, he showed quickness. Oh, he got hands. I bet. But as a competitor, like you said, you got to take that and say, boom, I know what I'm working on this summer.
Yeah, so he hears what people say. He knows who they drafted.
Yeah, he know.
He knows, like, all right, they
can't run
full
from it.
Confidence in him. Okay,
you can't run from it.
Let me show y'all what it is.
Right, because in worst case, and this is what I would look at if I'm a young NFL player is, and we talked about it a little bit, hey, let me raise my value. So, hey, if another team is looking, boom, all right, send me over here so I can get my opportunity.
Exactly.
Listen, all love, y'all drafted me. Shout out to the Mafia. But guess what? If I can raise my stock in preseason or training camp and a Giants call or another team call because another back got hurt in training camp, because that's the one thing about summer that we all know is going to happen. Injuries going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be some unpredictable, some like unfortunate situations. And that's why if I'm one of these young guys, even thinking on defense, if I'm one of these young corners or safeties,
put it on tape.
I'm putting my all into it. I don't care who you draft, because guess what? If there's not a spot for me here,
it is somewhere.
Somebody watching. And that's why these preseason games, we hear people talk about, oh, let's get rid of them. Let's move it down to 2 or let's move it down to 1. Let's just make it. No, these are guys out here who work their whole life.
My livelihood on the line. I need this.
Right, they work their whole life.
Even if I know I'm the 8th receiver,
let me
still watching.
Let me get out here. so the CFL guys can watch or the XFL. I don't care.
Houston,
shit, I don't give a right.
Baltimore, somebody ain't got no receivers.
It's teams out there with no receivers. Let me get a chance. So that'd be something to keep an eye on. I mean, I think the only person I was going to mention defensively, and this guy just came in my head just recently was, and I think they love him, but I'm thinking about Jaquan Johnson. The reason why I bring up him and the safety position, because really him and DeMar Hamlin, but Hamlin just got drafted last year. So I'm going to say Johnson, because Johnson is going into his third year. And I say make or break because it could really be a breakout opportunity for him if the Poyer thing doesn't work long term and they feel like they need a guy to fill in that strong safety role.
Right.
Because, like I said, going into your third year, they know they can depend on you. You know, the coaches has already said, we love this guy as a leader, special teams, he knows where to always be, blah, blah, blah. But they also have another guy and a couple guys back there who going to be competition, and that's Josh Thomas, I believe his name is, and Nick McLeod, who's a versatile defensive back who I just heard recently Poyer showing mad love too. So Jaquan Johnson is another guy to keep an eye out on for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he has an opportunity.
Yeah, a big one. Because again, regardless of how the Poyer situation plays out, Poyer is still in his early 30s. Hyde is already in his early 30s.
Right.
They're not going to be able to play forever.
Right.
At least not at a high level that they've been playing. So someone is going to have to step into those roles, whether it's someone on the team now or someone they're going to have to pick up at some point. So, you know, it might just be a situation. I just need to ride this out for the next year to continue to grow, continue to show the team that I can do this. So when my number is called, I'm able to hop right in.
Right.
And we're not going to miss a beat.
Yeah. So I think we brought up some good guys. I mean, we probably brought up somebody that nobody who may be listening or watching was probably thinking about. So I think that was a good thing to do. Now, I had one other thing on the list. I don't know if it was training camp or was it the Pro Bowl convo I wanted to go.
Yeah, we had the biggest threat to the Bills in the AFC.
Gotcha.
And then we also had the
Pro Bowl
most likely made the Pro Bowl.
So we'll start with the threat conversation because we brought it up in the first couple weeks when we recorded, and we mentioned the obvious candidates. I think it was AFC West teams, but I wanted to ask you first. Now that we go and we fast forward now to going into the month of July, and teams have pretty much settled into their main core. Who do you see as like a 1A, 1B? For the Bills going into the season in the AFC.
Oh, I'm gonna just skip Kansas City because that'd be my easiest.
That'd be an easy one, right?
I'm gonna throw that one.
So
out.
boom, we'll throw that out the way.
But one that I put up there is Baltimore.
Okay, that's a sneaky one.
I still don't like what they're rolling out as receivers.
Right, they doing Lamar dirty.
I expect him to be good. I don't think he really is a one.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's a number one receiver right now.
He may be
into it, but you know, I mean, Devin Duvernay, that's what
that's what y'all rolling with.
Yeah, that's what we doing. But outside of that receiver position,
right,
that
got
team
a solid
stacked.
team. Yeah,
I mean, you got
still
great
love their
tight
secondary.
Ends, you got good running backs. You have a stacked defense front to back.
Right.
Front to back.
Great coaching staff.
I mean, and you have the ultimate X factor.
At Lamar Jackson. Yeah,
so.
And if he's healthy, because I think, as I let you continue, I think people forget just because he was dealing with injuries last year, how big of an X factor he is. But
and even with the injuries he was dealing with last year, he still had them boys winning.
Right.
Like before he got hurt, I mean, they were up in the 1 seed for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So like. Baltimore, I don't think they're going away.
Yeah, we play them this year.
Yeah,
so
I don't think they're going away. I really think they have a solid team.
Okay.
And I think they'll, I mean, again, they haven't been bad in years, so I don't want to say it'll be a big surprise, but I don't think they're getting as much love as they should.
Nah, they're definitely going into this season. Like, I wouldn't even put them high on my list, but they're one of those sneaky sleeper teams that, unlike Pittsburgh, like we've mentioned Pittsburgh before on here, we know what we're getting from Pittsburgh, but we still are kind of unsure about the quarterback. We know about the quarterback in Baltimore.
You get caught slipping against Baltimore.
They run up 40.
You getting run out the
right.
Stadium.
They'll run you out the stadium, and Lamar have a field day. It'll feel like a Madden game. Yeah. And again, I think people forget because it was the health last year. It was the health of
everybody.
The defense.
They lost 3 running backs.
3 running backs, right. Because there was a couple games that they won with just like
They had
40
Le'Veon
players.
Bell on the
Right.
team.
They rolled out like 40 players damn near one game and was able to get a couple wins. And that just shows you, once again, great coaching, having an X factor. We've seen it here in Buffalo. Josh has won some games where he just had to put the team on his back. That's something like Lamar. You know, Lamar has won plenty games in his young career where he's just put the team on his back. So I like Baltimore as a sleeper team. And you kind of said 1A, 1B, so did you have another team?
Well, I mean, my other one is just so hard to even predict how the West is going to play out.
Right.
But another team that I really, really, really like is Denver.
Okay. I like Denver too, especially on paper.
Defensively, they have everything.
Top 5.
Every single thing. They check
secondary,
off every box.
You still got, what's the name up front?
And
Bradley, what's his name? Yeah.
And then you add Russ.
A top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, and he's not flashy, but you know damn well what you're going to get every
a healthy
Russ.
And he's another one that just because he dealt with a small injury last year, people forget that Russ is always in the top 5, top 10 convo.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, super efficient, accurate, got probably top 2, top 3 deep ball in the league.
Shows up in the big moments too.
Right, top 2, top 3
He's
deep
been
ball.
Here before, then did it already.
He can move outside the pocket, which is today's game.
He can move.
He got the Super Bowl,
but he can move.
He got a ring already, so it's like.
And they got a great receiving core.
Oh my gosh!
So I mean,
and they've been sitting on that receiver core with doo-doo quarterback play for like
waiting,
2 years.
Just sitting there waiting. You got
you know what I mean? KJ Hamlin, right?
Hamlin. I'm like
ooh. And you got Noah Fant, right? Or no, he got traded.
Trade. Yeah, so he's on now.
But anyways, outside of that, they got the 2 running backs.
Running backs too.
They got the defense, top 5 defense.
I mean, they had a top defense with terrible quarterback play last year.
Right. So, and now you plug in.
You don't have to rely on that.
And you want to know what's funny though? I think that's another one just like Baltimore. So I'm glad you brought up those two teams because I was probably going to go the obvious route. But when I turn on the TV, when I do get a chance to watch ESPN, I don't hear nothing about Baltimore or Denver. And that's the wild part to me because it's like both of those guys are top 10 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those teams have top 10 defenses. So if you're telling me you guys are going to sleep on teams in the AFC with top 10 quarterbacks, MVP caliber quarterbacks, and top 10 defenses, like what are we doing here? But I do understand that once again, as we've brought up before, the AFC is stacked.
I think it's because neither one of those teams are flashy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people love Chargers right now because they got the big arm quarterback. Flashy,
I know. And that's why I was probably going to bring him up. Yeah.
So, again, but these other teams, man, they gritty as all hell.
Yeah, they're going to be tough. Because Denver, one thing they're going to do, and I think they're going to bring that approach that Russ was doing in Seattle, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run that ball, and they're going to do a lot of play action. So be ready. That's why I said the AFC West is going to be so exciting for me to watch as a fan because it's going to give me a chance to remove my Bills cape and really watch other teams battle it out who play good football. Like, there's going to be good football in that division.
Yeah, on an unrelated note, just for a fantasy note, you're going to see Jerry Jeudy on damn near every single one of my teams.
Oh, yeah.
Any
Jeudy,
opportunity I get to pick up Jeudy is gone.
So who we say they got? They got Jeudy, Sutton, Hamlin.
That'll be their top 3.
Okay, their top 3. Okay. Yeah.
Give me Jeudy in every single league.
Jeudy and Sutton. I get Sutton in round 9 and have people sick.
Give me
70 catches, 9 touchdowns.
Jeudy in every league. Because
give me Gabe Davis in round 10. I'll be all right.
Good luck.
That's too late.
Good luck. It's worth a shot though. I mean,
Gabe. I was watching them too the other day. Just like, damn, Gabe is sick. Gabe is sick. So for me, once again, I like your choices. I'm gonna go with one obvious. I'll say the Chargers as one of my top 2 contenders.
Be mad at it. I mean,
and for me, the main reasons are kind of obvious too. Is Justin Herbert. I expect him to continue to get better.
Same argument.
You know what I mean? I expect him to continue to get better. I expect him to move firmly in that conversation as a top 5 quarterback. Even though I do think there's some small things I want to see more from, more of from him, and that just really comes down to clutch and just showing more of an it factor down the line.
Yeah.
And I think that's something Josh had to work on too early in his career, but I need to see it. And when I say it, we know what that is now with Josh, where boom, game's on the line. I need you to show is you against the world Superman type activity so that you can make more people a believer. So
I'm down 5. It's 45 seconds left.
Yeah, right.
One timeout.
I need you to turn to Superman.
I need you to know
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady shit. So that's why Tom and Aaron will continue to be in the top 5 until one of those young guys can get in that convo like Josh did last year and Patrick. So boom. So they're the easy one because of that, and obviously I like what they did on defense. J.C. Jackson, who even though Diggs is going to kill him every time, he's a solid cornerback to have. Same thing with Khalil Mack up front. You pair him with Bosa, deadly combination. And I think they'll be slightly above the Raiders because I think that the Raiders have the ingredients, but as we've talked about on the previous episodes, it comes down to Derek Carr. And if you ask me who I'm trusting right now, I'm actually going with the young buck. Yeah, I'm going with the young buck. I'm going with Herbert.
I trust 90% of the league before I trust
man, listen. I know you further down on Carr than me, but
Fraud City, man.
But yeah, I'll go with the Chargers. And then my other team, it's kind of tough.
Houston Texans.
Nah. I'm how can I say this? So I'm torn between a few teams because I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking about the AFC West. I'm thinking about Denver, the Raiders, the Chargers, and who's the 4th team in the AFC West?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. So
put some respect on the champs, man.
Yeah, I know. I said them last. I'm thinking about all of them, even though Chargers to me is the sexy pick out that group. And I really think the rest is a toss-up, though. Like, the contenders, really, you can bunch them in a bag because none of them have a full, complete team, in my eyes, to really make me nervous. You got Cincinnati, Joe Cool. We've talked about them before. Indianapolis. And then, kind of like you mentioned, Denver and also Kansas City. So, to me, I don't really have a great number 2 threat for the Bills. All I can say is that it's going to be fun watching them try to climb and try to grab our heels because I don't care what nobody say. I feel like the Bills are going to come out feisty. I feel like they'll probably win like maybe 4 out of their first 5 just to make a statement. Just because I feel like the team is just going to be hungry. I think too many guys on our team have that bad taste in our mouth that like that will at least get us into September. How October, November, and those things look, we'll see. But I think at least for the early first 5 or 6 games, Bills are going to be hot. And I think that you'll start to see certain teams kind of position themselves. And like I mentioned, you'll see the Colts in that conversation because they're solid. What's the other team I said? Cincinnati. You'll see them kind of position themselves. But really, probably the scariest, like I said, threat that I see, especially on paper from a standpoint of where their quarterback is at, it's probably the Chargers. So,
man, I can't be mad at it.
That's why I'm mad. But like I said, Justin Herbert still ain't at that point where he scares me when the game is on the line. So I still feel okay because it's like I just see my guy go toe-to-toe with the best quarterback in the league.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Patrick Mahomes. And I also saw him go toe-to-toe with the other GOAT of the league and Tom Brady. I was at the Tampa Bay game, and I seen the man go down 27-10.
Bro, that's Josh in that second.
Listen,
he was on the.
And that's why I had to go back and rewatch it the other day. Ev asked me, she said, "Yo, why you be going back watching the game?" Blah blah. I said because sometimes I like to go back and I'll cut it off at the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch something.
I'm gonna cut off the part when they lose.
That bro got that dog, man.
Oh right, and I watched that game.
He put that team on his back in that second half.
Right,
man.
right. I watched that game, and I know all of y'all who watched it from home, y'all could probably feel it through the TV. But emotionally, for me, watching that game and taking that ride from the first half to the second half, and the third quarter, with us feeling like, okay, boom, we're about to come back.
Yeah, they got that first touchdown.
It was 24-3, right?
Like, right.
It's 24-3, and Josh runs for that touchdown to make it 24-10.
Oh, that's cute. And then
but even in the crowd though, we have standing up like, okay, y'all.
All right, what y'all gonna do?
Y'all was trying to dog us Bills fan. We had a dude, he left at halftime. We had a Tim Bay fan, him and his guy, they left at halftime talking mad shit. Like, oh, sit down. They talking mad shit. They like, oh, and we just like we chilling though. We not going nowhere until this game is over. So they score, so we start to make a little bit more noise. And this is just the story of Josh Allen, really. And, you know, low key, we got a little disappointed because I think the next time we punted or we might have not got it on fourth down. Tampa Bay gets the ball. They go down the field. Now it's 27-10. And now we going into the fourth quarter. But in that fourth quarter, they make a 2-minute drive.
Bong.
Boom, boom. They get in the field. Touchdown to Dawson Knox. It's 27-17.
Looking like,
And now the intensity is up, right? Defense comes out, makes a stop. We get the ball back
Sack
again.
On that third down, I think.
Right, it was something like that, Matt Milano. Then we come back, boom, boom, boom. Touchdown, Gabe Davis, my guy. Now it's 27-24, and now the
that's
crowd.
When that Milano sack came in.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the crowd really into it, and we in the stands like, we tried to tell y'all that this dude right here
I'm talking big shit.
is Superman.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, and y'all remember the game, especially the Bills fans, the man had his cape on, like running, boom, boom, boom. Pinpoint passes. Gabe Davis, you know, on third down, fourth down, I think it was.
What Gabe Davis do?
Caught the ball, running dude over for 3 yards.
He needed them yards too. He caught that ball shorter.
And then we get the joint. I'm telling you, we down 3 with a minute to go. It should have been a flag. He throws the one joint to Diggs.
I don't know nothing about that.
And Kyle, you know, with the grab on the shirt.
No, man. And it's photos of that.
Come
shit.
on, man.
Had the whole jersey
Come on,
back
man.
here.
But anyways,
back-to-back plays at that too. That's what killed me. I'm like, yo, come on.
But I bring that up just to say those are reasons why I'm not too scared. Because I watched that guy on TV and in person, like show legitimate dog, just straight Kobe type shit on the field.
Every game last year when they needed a play at the end of the game. I can't say every game minus Jacksonville.
Most of them, yeah. I mean, like
the big games,
right. We can throw Jacksonville out the way.
Yeah, that don't even count.
A couple other, whatever.
The big games, even the playoff games.
But like we said, going against the best, right? You're going against Tom Brady. You're going against Patrick Mahomes.
It's not what let you down,
right? He was up for the task.
I needed to play. I made a play.
He was up for the task.
Touchdown, I got you a touchdown.
He was up for the task, and that's all you want from your star guy. Like it's so many great athletes in the league.
And what's even crazier, they got better.
Right. And I think that's why they're so high on everybody's list. You know, it goes back to it. Von Miller,
legitimately
Daquan Jones, Settle, Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips.
The only place where you can say they potentially didn't get better is receiver
or corner.
And at the same time,
they got the rookie. Yeah, I forgot.
At the same time, the receiving core could very well be better.
It could. Because it all, to me, it really depends on how they run.
For me, it depends how Davis grows into that number 2 spot.
How Davis grows, and to me, as I mentioned before, how they utilize those wide receivers.
Yeah, they got
now they got the run after catch guys.
Yeah,
they got run after catch guys. Even Davis is a run after catch person.
Yeah.
Like people sleep on that aspect of Davis' game, but he can catch the ball and get up the field.
Yeah,
so
he's not gonna juke you out, but he can.
Right, he ain't gonna juke you out, but he's tough. So he gonna slip a tackle and do what he got to do. And that's going to be the exciting part. Obviously, is trying to live up to the expectations, right? You know, we're talking week to week about
that are hunted.
Right. We talk week to week about being at the top, how it feels as fans. But the good part is that these guys still come off extremely hungry. It's like, okay, y'all got us number 1, cool, but yeah, did you see what happened in Kansas City?
They know they ain't won nothing yet.
Right.
They know all that meant nothing.
A part of them are probably like, yo, listen. We didn't have high expectations the last 2 seasons. Guess what happened?
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
Ain't no rain come from it.
Yep.
Oh, y'all got us higher than we finished last year? All right, cool. We ain't got no hardware.
Yeah.
So I love that about
get to the game. So
right.
They know that.
Right. And that's the fun part as we just week to week get closer to there. So outside of that, one of my last Bills topics for today was the first Pro Bowl selection. Do you have a candidate that you feel like might be in that group this year? Because with this probably being the most watched Bills team that we've had in over 2 decades, all eyes are going to be on certain players. But outside of our normal stars, who do you feel like can make that leap and make their first Pro Bowl?
I have 2.
All right, go ahead.
And they're both on the defense.
Okay.
Ed Oliver. You add Von Miller next to you. And that's going to take so much pressure off. I mean, there's a lot of times when Ed was the one that was getting the double team.
A lot of times, yeah. 75% of the time, yeah.
You know, you add Von Miller on your right. Yeah. You add Daquan Jones if he's the one starting, or Tim Settle next to you on the left,
right?
Who can both anchor down,
right,
and take on blocks. So, like, I'm really sitting here going to be facing single teams. A lot of the time it's one-on-one.
Yeah, get out my face.
And he is...
Get out my face.
His get-off is so ridiculously fast.
I love it.
And the amount of power that he can generate from his frame.
And the hustle. Sideline to sideline ability.
Crazy. The strength from someone his size to being an undersized D tackle.
I love it.
So, like, I really think he has the... I think the sky's the limit for him.
It still is. For
so,
sure.
You know, with all that next to him now, I think he has a chance to really, really dominate.
Right.
And other person I have is similar to that because that D-line has improved so much. I really think it's time for Matt Milano to start to get the shine that he deserves.
Yes. He's one of, like...
I mean, he's played at a Pro Bowl level the last 2 years, but hasn't gotten that recognition.
And what's funny is that just a year ago, Bills fans, we were shouting about Jordan Poyer not getting enough love. I think we can kind of close that window now because, like, he was named to All-Pro. All-Pro.
But still didn't get to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, right. That's just player respect, which, you know, whatever. Players have their favorites, whatever. But, yeah, outside of Poyer, that's a good one because I think nationally he still needs a little more love. Like, you'll hear guys from PFF or guys like Collinsworth, he'll sing his praises. Because those who study know, right? Those who study, like, it's one thing to watch the Bills play or be an analyst and you happen to watch a Bills game. But if you study the Bills defense, he is one of the top 2 or 3 guys.
The way their system works, like, you really have to hone in. And when they say do your 111th, that is truly what they mean on that defense because it is a sum of all parts. My fault, Val. It's the sum of all parts. So, like, this is literally my job and my role on this play in this particular package. And he does it amazing. Like, coming downhill, he's their best linebacker.
Right.
He's the best player by far coming downhill and attacking the line.
Right.
Sideline to sideline. Instinctually, he
knows for the ball is crazy.
His blitz.
Because he's a former safety, too.
Yeah,
People forget.
He's probably the best. Hell, maybe Taron Johnson. I don't know. Either him or Taron Johnson.
Yeah, close.
Best blitzer. But, like, the way he does it, his coverage on tight ends is so...
Listen, I remember it was one game we played against New England. It's 2 games that stand out to me in his career. One game against New England, when I think we had Derek Anderson as, like, the quarterback. That was, like, a Monday night game. He was all over the place. Matt Milano was... I remember, like, this dude is
58,
all over the place. So it was that game, and then it was a game against Houston that we played. And I want to say it was the playoff game against Deshaun Watson, where they needed a stop near the goal line. And he just was like on like 3 out of 4 of the stops, like breaking up a pass, tackling a run back, getting the quarterback face. And I'm like, he's just that guy where you can literally put anywhere on the football field. And he can make plays. And to me, honestly, he needs to be mentioned as one of the top 10 all-around linebackers in the entire league. Like, we know you got your Darius Leonards, your other young guys, Fred Warners, and I'm just talking about forget middle linebacker, outside linebacker. I feel like as a linebacker, he needs to be in that conversation more because he just can do so much. Like you said, I mean, line of scrimmage, back off, and you got to think about it, dude is only like 6'1" might just being nice. Like, he's probably a solid 6 feet and like 235.
Yeah, but he's one of the best around, man. The amount of field he can cover.
Man, listen.
If he needs, because again, like the way their defense is set up, man, like him and Edmonds aren't necessarily interchangeable, but their roles are. So, I mean, the way certain plays are designed,
they work very well together.
Playing that middle, so he's playing that Mike in a sense.
And I will say,
and he does everything so well. I can drop back, I can rush, I can cover the back out the backfield. Like,
that's one thing I will say I may miss if they do move on from Edmonds is how well they do work together. Because when they're both healthy,
it's a very good tandem.
Oh together. When they are both healthy,
the skill sets are crazy.
That is one of the top 5 linebacker duos in the league when they're both healthy. And that's, to me, that's the biggest Thing is getting them both on the field for 16, 17 games.
At the same time. It's how one is hurting, the other one's
hurting.
Yeah,
or dealing with an injury, or they 80%. Like if we
COVID,
can, it's always something. But them two together, when they are like feeling good, whatever, like I love them two together because, like you said, the flexibility, the way that they can both kind of, all right, you can blitz, I'm gonna drop back. All right, I'm gonna cover the run back, I'm gonna cover the tight end. Like they can both do it, and I think the good thing about Edmonds when you playing beside Milano was that he just gives you a different version just because of the length.
It's like back to my Edmonds. Like when I just see him set up and he's in his 4-point stance or whatever stance he's set up, and dog, his wingspan is literally covering the whole damn hashes. Like, yo.
So you don't even want to throw, like, quarterbacks who play the Bills, and this is why I'll always say they've been top 3 defensively 2 out of the last 3 seasons, mainly because of Edmonds, and obviously the safeties behind him. But nobody wants to throw in the middle of the field against the Bills. Mm-hmm. Nobody, and normally it's because of the D tackles.
The thing is, if you do, and it's successful, it takes a hell of a pass to be able to do it. It takes great anticipation. It takes great eye discipline on the quarterback's part. I have to really play this man off so I can even open up a seam before I can get it through.
Our middle of the field, I love it. I like the way the middle of and now we're gonna love it obviously even more with our D tackles who are coming into play. So love that choice there. You said Milano and who was the other person? Oliver. Okay. So for me, I got one sleeper. So I'll start off on offense. My one sleeper is Devin Singletary. The reason why I got him as a sleeper choice for a Pro Bowl vote,
because there ain't no other running backs in the AFC.
That, but also I feel like in this offense,
Jonathan Taylor. Oh no, I forgot.
Jonathan Taylor, he's the guy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that's 2. So right. So we got 2. Right. So my take on Singletary is that he has an easy pathway as long as Cook don't take too many chances from him. He got an easy pathway of getting double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah, because he was racking up the touchdowns.
He had 8. Yeah, he finished with like 8.
Yeah.
And if he was at a certain pattern throughout the whole year, he would have easily had like 12.
Yeah, I just heard. I can't remember exactly what week it was. It was either the second half of the season or after like week 10. He was the second fantasy running back in the league.
He was eating.
I'm like, yeah.
I remember he was
racking
eating
up them touchdowns like that.
He was eating, and I remember the Atlanta game he had a couple. It was another game he had a couple. Jets game he had 1. So yeah, the second half of the season he got into a rhythm. So I'm looking at this year and I'm saying, okay, well if you're gonna be worrying about Dawson Knox and OJ Howard and Gabe Davis and Diggs and Josh is doing Josh. Then that means Singletary, that means Motor just going to be able to boom, 20 yards, boom, 10 yards. And then when you get in the red zone, boom, quick toss.
Because again,
and the run blocking is going to be better. So
yeah, because at the end of the day, no matter when he gets the ball in his hand, he's going to be one-on-one with a linebacker or one-on-one with a safety.
5+ yards easy.
So
he should be averaging 5+ yards a carry this year. So
he's been up there his whole career.
Right. So I'm looking at him as a sneaky pick. Just because I feel like he'll be the forgotten guy, along with a couple others, but I feel like he'll be the forgotten guy in that offense. That
I'm not mad.
That he'll be able to just have a productive year, and it might be, the numbers are so sexy. Let's put him in as a third running back in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, at least an alternator.
Right.
I think this will be statistically his best season.
Right, and I'm with you on that. So Singletary is my one sneaky pick. On defense,
You going Jordan Poyer?
No. That's too easy for me. All Pro Poll gonna get a slide. I'm gonna go out on a whim with this person, and I feel like I won't say like he'll have a Trayvon Diggs type year as a young corner, but I'm gonna say Kyrie Elam. I'm gonna say that only because of this. I feel like White will be White. I feel like he'll come back, do his thing, and for all we know, we can end up with 2 Pro Bowl corners. But I feel like Kyrie Elam has the potential, if he plays every game and if he starts every game, to be in that conversation as Defensive Rookie of the Year.
He's going to need
He gonna need like 5 or 6 picks. Oh yeah, right. Well, that's what I was getting at was that I think that the thing that works for him, and we'll have to see it when they get with the pads, is his aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. And I think that
he'll get the opportunities though.
Right, and I think that if Trey White can come back and be Trey White, quarterbacks are going to have to look in Elam's direction. So you couple that with the defensive line pressure and the other pieces that we mentioned in front, the linebackers. It's going to be there for Elam if he's playing where he should be to break on those balls and make a couple plays. So I got Elam. I picked 2 sleepers. Obviously, the ones that you had were better candidates. Like, those are definitely more like you can see happening for sure. Milano and Oliver. But like going the sleeper route. Sometimes a bold prediction works. Sometimes it doesn't. But Elam, Singletary, I'm expecting y'all to put up some nice numbers. I mean, who wouldn't want to see those 2 guys have great years? 'Cause I'm telling you right now, if Elam has that kind of year, our defense might be on legendary status. If our rookie corner can put up great numbers, 5 picks, 6 picks, 7 picks, we'll be in good. I think we'll be in a good place if our rookie corner can do that. So. That's our little fake bowl prediction segment for the Pro Bowl talk going into the year. Now, the other thing is I want to switch to the basketball real quick before we sign off because we are entering the free agency period in the NBA. And we like to always switch it up when we can just to not bills it out. Do you see any bold trades or any bold signings happening in the NBA that you think is really going to shake up this season? Because, I mean, obviously, by the time we record, maybe some shit have already happened, but,
I don't know, man.
Nothing that's like, because I know people going to go different places. We know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be
but movement. Anything that's going to be changing anything.
I just don't know how. I don't really see anything that's going to be earth-shattering.
Right.
I don't see any massive.
Wake up one day like, shit, so they the favorites now.
Kyrie opted in. I mean, if he had opted out, or they traded him, then I could
to LA. That would have been different.
That'd have been crazy, and then I also could have saw KD end up going somewhere else. Well, with Kyrie opting back in, I don't expect KD to be moved or him to go anywhere. Right. So far, Westbrook opted back in, which that's
but they can still trade his ass.
That sucks.
Man, as hell, they got 47 for you to drop 14 and
for you to drop some
9 turnovers.
17 turnovers and 7.5
right
points.
Because he was pissing me off betting on him last year.
I said, yo, you can't
even give me 15 points?
13?
Right. Listen, he was killing me. I'm like, dog.
You like, 13? That's easy money. My man hit 7. Like, bro.
Yo, Westbrook was he was top 2 worst people to bet on this year, I will say, in basketball.
It was absolutely.
Like him and Clay.
Him and Harden ass.
You're right. I forgot. Sorry, Clay.
Philly.
Sorry, Clay. Harden in Philly, that was definitely tough. I
like, yo, they set you over under at 17.5 and you ain't hit that?
2 threes. You go 1 for 7.
Or don't shoot at all.
Right.
I said, you ain't taking a shot in the whole second half.
And then you come off a game where you drop 13 assists, so you be like, all right, boom, 8+ assists.
Easy.
Now 4. Now you got 4 assists because you want to take 30 shots.
Down 9,
which one we doing?
Down in the fourth quarter, and you shoot 1 shot in the fourth quarter.
Listen, that's why they say, man, this sports betting shit ain't for everybody because some of these players don't give a fuck.
He opted out just to resign, so he's staying
pretty
with
much,
Philly.
Yeah.
So I don't really see any earth shattering.
I think.
I feel like Lakers have to do something.
Lakers got to do something. Yeah, you're not gonna waste another year of LeBron's career.
Yeah, but they don't have much trade.
They don't have much ammo.
They got nothing to really work with. So, but they can't.
And I don't even know if Melo is a free agent. Is he? Or
I think he only signed 1 year. I think it was only a 1 year deal. But
they
don't have a team that is running back. That's not a running back team.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't even know what my man Melo about to do.
Melo gonna sign with somebody in October.
I hope not. I need him on the team by July.
Come on, man.
But I know that's unrealistic.
Sit there and wait. Figure out what.
Find out who I'm gonna be rooting for on the side. Yeah, I know.
Go buy your New Orleans jersey or some shit.
Nah, chill. Nah, he can't go to the Pels. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not playing with Zion. Zion already looked like fucking Booger.
Zion,
we're not doing that.
He looking like me, but 6'10".
He looking like Booger McFarland, and it's looking bad.
He looking like.
And somebody posted a video the other day. He out there at this camp.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Sean Kemp with the Cavs. Like, no, we're not doing that.
I said, you about to eat your way out the league, dog?
Dog, it's looking. I told people when it happened after the draft, I said, listen, when we got RJ,
pick look way much
I said when we got RJ, I said, listen, some of y'all Knicks fans that's crying over Zion, y'all may not be that mad in a couple years because when I actually watched the Duke games, I said to myself, I said, okay, this nigga jumping out the gym, I get it, but I said, how much is this stuff really going to translate to the NBA when niggas like really buckle down and like make you play defense, make you shoot the jumper? Because I'm like, that shit is cool in high school and college when it's alleys, breakaway, dunks, boom, boom, boom.
You might get one of those a game.
Bruh, and there's only so many LeBrons. Like, LeBron was able to do it because LeBron had the mixture of everything into one. Zion wasn't that.
Defense, like steals.
Yeah, Zion ain't had no vision or nothing like that.
Jumping over everything.
Right, he was just a country-ass motherfucker who could jump out the gym.
Mm-hmm. Wild in shape.
But we all looked at him and we all kind of said, a biscuit.
Look a little thick.
Listen.
You about 2.5 biscuits away from
a McDouble.
Yeah. With extra cheese away from really being
one curly fry and it's over.
With terrible knees.
So now we look at it, 2.5 years later, and I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at RJ, and I told somebody this on Twitter earlier. I said, let him bring that average up a couple more. You know what I mean? I think he finished the year around 22 or something points a game, which is great for me for a 21-year-old or whatever he is, 21, 22. Let him bring that average up some more, be more efficient, outside, shooting the ball. I mean, his three looked way better last year. Like, he was a couple games he hit like 5, 4.
Go too.
Yeah.
There's no hesitation.
So I'm liking the growth of RJ. I'm hoping he takes the next step. But to get back on what I asked you, I really think that the only thing that can really change or be a big change is if we see, another move or two from either Miami or Milwaukee. Don't know what they could possibly do to try to get over the Boston shit. And then for the Knicks, me being a Knicks fan, I'm honestly looking for something bigger than Brunson. I'm looking for not much more of a bigger player than Brunson, but if they're going to sign Brunson, cool. But please get something else in the to make the backcourt at least competitive. I'm okay with the front court. I'm okay with Obi. I'm okay. Yeah, get rid of Randall, please. Oh my gosh.
Y'all want to free up some money?
Yeah, y'all want to free up some money. If y'all want to talk freeing up, man.
Y'all could have traded him to Detroit.
Get that right. Perfect bad boy. Perfect Detroit player.
I keep Noels. I keep Noels and Burks. Just please
get him out. We gotta end this love affair, man. He gave us one great year. I get it.
And you know why you at it? Trade Tibbs. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't trade coaches really.
Hey, we seen one trade coach. I forgot if that was the NBA or the NFL, but
I think
who was that?
Dude that just got fired from Raiders.
John Gruden got traded, right?
Yeah, he got traded.
For Tony Dungy, right?
Yeah.
That was crazy. But
he's gonna trade coach. I'm like, yo,
right? Can I get motherfucker? But nah, Thibs listen, Thibs is on his last string though.
He should have been on that last string.
Because after last year, like some of the rotation choices,
it makes sense, man. He live and die with his players.
And he'll pull a string on a young player like Obi Toppin.
Why is your first pick still getting
the
11 minutes a game?
11 minutes. And the thing is that the man give you 11 minutes and he'll give you 15 points. He'll give you 8 boards, and then you're going to take him out.
Mad energy.
Whole garden going nuts.
Quickly come off the bench, damn near doing somersaults full of energy, and you get that man.
And you put in Alex
16
Burks.
minutes. Alex Burke is nothing but a spot shooter.
Right, and you let him play the whole second half.
That's it.
And running point in the clutch.
And Tiz was still running out Rose ass like it was 2008 Rose.
Listen, that's why I said it's a weird place to be as a Knicks fan because
Tibbs,
it's
Tibbs can get you to the race.
Yeah, he can get you to the playoffs, but
he's not gonna win that race once he's there
because it's just his rotational shit don't. And that's when some of the assistant coaches you were
always suspect, man. They'll never roll out no good defensive schemes, man.
Anyway, yeah, that's how depressed Knicks fans end the podcast.
Yeah.
Niggas get sad.
We sat in silence for like 5 seconds.
This shit not looking too good.
We want to have some hope, but I'm sitting like, they about to roll out the same shit.
Right. It's like, bro, this he Randall played 42 minutes.
about?
19 points, 12 turnovers, 4 assists.
Sign somebody over the hill.
Oh yeah, they about to bring Bullock back, and they gonna probably
see if they can restore somebody's career. Might as well bring Melo back at this point.
Listen,
give him 40 minutes.
I will say this about Melo though, is that if they can put together a competitive team, I wouldn't mind Melo back. But if you just gonna bring back Randall and the whole band, don't bring Melo anywhere near this because he don't need to go out like that. Mm-hmm. But if you gonna tell me you gonna get rid of Randall and you gonna make a couple good moves, I'm talking Brunson and somebody else. I wouldn't mind seeing Melo off the bench, Obi starting, and seeing that flourish. Because I feel like Melo in the garden with the young guys, that would be fire. But don't put him on this team with Randall. Hell no.
Randall ass.
Don't do that.
We gotta figure out how to get him out of there.
Yeah, I don't care, man. Whatever package, Sacramento. I mean, I know it's teams out there that can use a Randall.
Figure it out.
Clippers, come on, one of y'all motherfuckers. But anyways, go Bills, right? Still about Bills Mafia. We not gonna let the Knicks fuck up our mood. Yeah, we still another day closer.
Couple weeks.
That's all we gonna.
We're almost there.
We're gonna end it positive.
Yeah, for sure. Continue prayers for Ken Pegula. We still don't know
for
what's
sure.
going on.
We don't
Crazy
know what's
rumors
going on.
taking place yesterday.
Yeah, they are.
But I'm happy they finally put out a statement.
Yeah, I'm glad they
everything is
yes.
getting better. I mean, again, we still don't know.
Right,
details,
we still don't know,
which we don't need to know.
And also shout out to her daughter for continuing in Wimbledon. I think right.
Press on. Yeah, I think her match was canceled yesterday.
Right, yesterday, but she defeated somebody today.
Okay,
yeah. So prayers to the Pegula family. We're hoping and praying that everything works out. And yeah, just praying for those and continue to say prayers for everybody else in this world, this country. We're seeing a lot going on. If you keep up with the news, you already know what I'm talking about. So much going on. Just keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Y'all continue to be safe.
What I say, in the midst of all of this craziness, division, political division, cultural divisions, it's all love still.
Right.
Learn how to respect one another for the differences as well for similarities.
Right.
You don't have to agree with someone's political affiliations.
Yeah, you don't gotta
still respect them as people.
It down or
to still,
you're right.
Be cool with them. Respect it. Agree to disagree. And keep
agree
it
to disagree.
And
That's a big one. Heavy on agree to disagree.
None of this is deep enough where you got to be going out and threatening and bringing out the violence and the fisticuffs and all that. So, just love. Don't let Satan win, right? Don't let the devil win. Don't roll up on me with that bullshit.
Yeah, don't roll up on me either. You know what I mean? I don't do the back and forth on the internet.
Sure don't. And I'm petty.
Yeah.
I'll ruin your whole day.
So yeah, we're not doing that. We're gonna try to.
But I still love though.
Yeah, I always love, but it's still real shit. So
yeah, absolutely.
But nah. So continue to spread, share our information, our videos.
Please do.
We're getting closer. We're getting closer to the season. We promise we'll be able to give some recaps soon. That's what we waiting for. The weekly recaps, getting into the season, getting into what we seeing.
Some real game previews.
Yeah, real shit. Real shit.
It's gonna be fun.
But until then, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
And we're glad to be able to entertain y'all for a little over an hour. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy.
Same time every day. A little over now.
A little over an hour.
Consistency. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get about 67 minutes worth of us. So,
pretty much.
Again, we appreciate y'all chilling with us, kicking it with us for this hour. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.